channel.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Others. And this is where we talk about just genuinely random topics. And today, my girl has a topic we're going to talk about. But let's first talk about who we are. I'm your host, Class, and this is my co-host,
Mspi.
Alright, and now, let's get into the topic.
Today we're going to talk about our COVID scare.
Yeah, much fun.
It's quite something. It's an experience that I'm going to say in the beginning I was truly terrified because you don't know what to expect, like you've heard it from everyone else. We've managed to kind of avoid having COVID for over 2.5 years.
Yeah, so let's bring you guys to what bring up to speed. So we recently, for 2.5 years, over the time COVID's been out, this whole widespread of viruses, we have been surprisingly managing very well not to catch it at all. We knew a lot of people in our families, friends, everyone we cared about who happened to get it, and we were just blessed enough not to get it.
Stay away from me.
Even though, considering my job was more out in the field, it meant that I had to go and deal with hundreds of people every day. So there was always that risk factor when it came to being out there. But I always knew if I was just cautious, wore gloves, sanitizers, put masks on, keep my mask on, things would be fine. And it actually did work. I made one tiny error in trusting someone I cared about, and then I accidentally had to pay the price for it. Granted, it's my mistake to make, but I had to learn my lesson the hard way.
You live and you learn.
So, we were, but not even that. Not even just the fact that we did get it, and now we're fine, by the way.
We're back to being healthy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
God.
We were lucky to get through it. But when you look at it now and you see everybody, people are not being cautious anymore. People are just not trying to be safe. Yeah. It's like they don't think it really matters anymore. Like, we're going to gamble. There's a statistically likely chance you're not going to get it or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, and to be honest, we've managed to stay away from getting exposed to COVID for 2.5 years. That's going to say something about how well we've kept ourselves, in the safety of everything, how well we've tried, because we wore masks are the number one thing that people tend to disregard, but it's like the number one thing that protects you, believe it or not.
There's a lot of people who just had,
and not to be political, because this is not about politics, this is about science. Okay,
I mean safety too.
Basic science and safety. You're gonna breathe the same air that people are breathing. It's gonna be in the air. It's a virus. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna breathe it in. Well, next to if someone's infected, you're gonna breathe it in if they're next to you.
I agree.
And you're gonna get it. It's just simple.
I think one of the most important lessons I would probably say for sure, after experiencing safety and then taking the risk and then getting it, I would say this: we care about everyone we love. We care about everybody in our lives, okay? Yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but just because you don't think you have it doesn't mean you shouldn't play it safe for those people you care about. Like, if you know you're going to have someone come over and kick it with you, or you're going to go have coffee, or you're going to go see a movie, or you're going to the park. I mean, the park's probably, range-wise, you're not going to have too much of an issue, but if you're in a closed environment, the least thing you can do for the person you care about, whoever you're going to see, is take a test. Now I learned that I'm learning that now the hard way, but now I know. If I ever go anywhere, I'm going to ask somebody, take a test for me, I'll take a test for you, and then we'll show each other the results, so that way, we can kick it later.
But let me just say, that's still not guaranteed, although that is taking preventative measures.
It's a little step.
It's a little step, but it's not guaranteed, because what happened to me and what happened to him are completely two different experiences, and we're going to get to that, but sometimes you can test negative and still be positive.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, so you sometimes, for example, we went through this experience. I first got the symptoms. She wasn't going through any of that. No. It almost felt like she wasn't going to feel any of the experiences. We thought that it was going to be we're good to go. But I felt it right away the first the day or two after maybe I got it. I really don't know when I got it. But when I got it, it hit me like... And then for a little while, it seemed like, you know, she was going to be good to go. And
I
was
was fine the first 3 or 4 days.
And I believe
even
it or
though
not,
I was terrified because I was seeing him go through it. And I'm like, oh my God, like, is that going to be me? But I was fine.
We kept testing, and it turned out so far so good. Yeah. And then eventually, though, somebody had given her some wisdom and told her that don't be deceived. Yeah. And she took another test a couple days later, and she realized, and then it happened.
I had to warn, because I work from home, so I had to warn my bosses and tell them, hey, I'm exposed to COVID. I may have it, may or may not have it. Thank God for my boss. She was so nice enough to, like, talk me out of, I'm not testing again. She told me about her experience where someone she knew tested negative, but they ended up being positive a couple of days later. So she told me to wait, you know, and just like that, I tested positive. But I was not aware that I was positive because I kept testing and testing myself, and it was negative. Yeah. So I was so surprised. I'm like, oh my God, I am positive. But the symptoms were just not there yet. Yeah. 100%.
Absolutely.
So what happens is sometimes the virus can't be detected in the tests that you have. And it might be too early.
Or maybe it's a slow buildup.
Yeah, it's a slow buildup.
Yeah, like it's not there yet, but it's going to get there. Like if you're with someone, trust me, you think you might be safe, but wait about a week. Yeah. Really, that extra step where you are with someone who has COVID and you feel like you haven't gotten it yet, that week you take with them, that you take the test after, is really going to play it a little more safer because you really don't know if you're not going to get it or not. That's the truth. Like, it's all a gamble. It's not exactly like the virus. It's showing itself in little red colors or something, and it's showing you when it's crawling up inside you. It's not really like that.
And I know it's hard because we're 2 years into it. Yeah. I didn't think COVID was going to last this long. Yeah. I thought it was going to get under control, but hey, it's still happening.
We did a bad job.
I know people are acting like it's not here and they're just walking around without masks, but if you care about your safety and other people's safety, wear a mask.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. Yeah, it irritates you to wear it. I get it, but
the worst case scenario, you don't have COVID.
You get a little sweat mustache or something. You know, that's like your worst case. You get to smell your breath for the first time. That's your worst case scenario, really. Yeah. Like, but at the end of the day, the benefits of it is you might be doing a favor for those you care about, like your friends, the ones you love. Even though they might not be taking the safety precautions, you should probably recommend it too, because trust me, it's not over. And now we have new things coming up. We're not going to get into all that because it would just be scary talking about monkeypox and everything. We're just getting into the main core of our experiences as we got COVID.
Yeah, and going through the symptoms, I can honestly say in my experience, I now understand why people with, you know, medical conditions can't suffer through it harshly. Yeah. They could have it worse. Like, to me, it's a little harder to have dealt with than a regular cold or flu. Do not compare that. I would not compare cold symptoms or flu symptoms to COVID. I think it was a little more than that.
Yeah, no,
in my experience,
it was definitely more.
You get I got the body aches, I got fever, I got the coughing.
You did not want to get up.
No, you don't want to give it up. You pretty much are dead for like 4 days. Yeah, and then you come back to life. Miraculously. Yeah, I couldn't. But that's if you're healthy.
I couldn't even eat for a day. Like I tried stomaching solid foods, and all I could eat was like a little bit of lettuce and stuff like that. Because every time I tried eating a soup or something, anything hearty, I just started throwing up, and it was just
it was scary.
Terrible. But yeah.
So how was the first day for you?
First day was awful. Like there was so much pain in my organs. My body was aching, and obviously I was getting a fever out of nowhere. And it was just coincidentally as I was about to start work. Like I just got up, going to the bathroom thinking everything's fine. And then all of a sudden my body started feeling weird out of nowhere. Like I just started feeling an ache that was coming, but it wasn't there yet. And then I started feeling like my stomach was acting up even though I hadn't had anything yet. So I started coming to these conclusions that something's not right. Then I started feeling like heat, but I thought maybe it's just because it's hot outside. So I checked my temperature. From that point, boom, I realized, yeah, this is not normal. And then from that point, we take a test, and from that point, we figure out what happened.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When he tested positive for COVID, I was freaking out. Yeah, freaking out, man. I was just like, oh my God, I don't know what to expect. Yeah. I'm gonna try to be positive, not think of worst case scenarios, but obviously I have anxiety. It's gonna go there.
Yeah, no.
It got pretty dark real quick in my head, but You know, I managed to get through it mentally. I had to stay strong for him for at least like the days that I wasn't sick.
Yeah.
And then I got it.
Yeah, and then
And
she
that was
went through her
something.
own roller coaster.
Oh, that was crazy. I gotta say the most uncomfortable experience of it all was the fever. I was going from...
Especially in the summer.
Oh, yeah, it's awful. I was going from one moment being chilly and like cold, and I knew there was something wrong because obviously we live in LA and it's pretty hot over here.
Yeah, it is.
It was like 90 something, and I was with the chills and everything, so I was like, okay, something's wrong. So that's how I knew I had the fever, and then I went from going to the chills to like sweating like crazy the next moment, and then again up and down. It was just all over the place.
Yeah, no, it's...
Thank God I didn't have the throwing up symptoms.
Yeah, but the thing that got us through it too, okay, so I guess just to kind of end it on a keynote, is what got us through was we wore masks every day. If we had, you got to test yourself and let those you care about test themselves as well. Mm-hmm. And, you know, what were we just talking about? You know, just sanitizing your stuff. I mean, pretty much, most important thing, the vaccine. Look, you don't got to get the booster. I don't really know. I'm not going to make a statement for that. Maybe it's best you get the booster because if it wasn't for us getting the vaccine, we probably would have experienced this a lot worse. And you, as an American citizen, can get it from the government. I believe they're still funding it.
It's free.
Where you can get vaccinated without having to pay out of your pocket or for medical. Mm-hmm. And you don't have to have a medical plan to do it. So feel free to look that up in the CDC. They'll probably explain all the information there. Or maybe you can even look it up online. Just type it in on your Google or whatever you're on. And it will explain to you where you can get vaccinated without probably charging you any ridiculous amount at all for it. Mm-hmm. And then you can feel a little more at ease. If you haven't already gotten it, maybe you've been a little cautious about it, trust me. It's better you take the vaccine than take any chances of trying to experience this solo, right?
Yeah, if you are opting not to vaccinate because, you know, that's your freedom, whatever you want to do with your body, then, you know, take preventative measures. It doesn't hurt to wear gloves. It doesn't hurt to sanitize your hands. It doesn't hurt to wash your hands.
Yeah,
I think that's the most important one.
Yeah, I was a woman. I went to a store. And she noticed I was wearing a purple glove, latex glove, and she was like, "Oh man, I wanted to wear one of those, but I was afraid to do it, or I was ashamed to do that, or embarrassed to do it." And I was like, "Why would you be?" In my head, I was like, "Why would you be embarrassed to wear a glove when you're playing as a safety precaution?" Considering she even said like even after like considering we have all these other new things coming out, you know. Mm. So I just want to say
that's interesting.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to play it safe. You're not a bad person because you're playing it safe. Okay?
Yeah.
You're playing it safe for everyone.
Either. Peer pressure. You know, don't feel peer pressure to believe that you have to not wear a mask even though you want to.
Or you can't wear gloves, or you can't sanitize your hands after you shake someone's hand. Like,
that is something, though, that I went through. I did find myself feeling like I was peer pressured not to wear a mask. And I didn't feel like it was safe enough to not wear one.
Yeah, even though you want to try.
But I saw everyone else that I knew.
Yeah, you care
and
about.
they were walking around without a mask. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, they're vaccinated. Yeah. Maybe I'll take
my mask off,
too.
And they're playing it safe too, right? I mean, that's what you're thinking, but it's not the case.
Follow your instincts when it comes to your health.
Unless you're planning on putting cameras on every person you've ever give a crap about, like, it's not gonna happen.
Just a tip. I mean, a couple of tips.
Just a tip.
If you already do have COVID, stay positive. You will get through it. I'm just saying. And whatever you're going through, what helped us was honestly probiotics. Yeah. Probiotics. Your gut health has a lot to play.
What was it? Kombucha?
Kombucha
was pretty good.
Yeah, drink kombucha. If you don't like kombucha, drink probiotics. Tea has probiotics in it sometimes. Mm-hmm. We highly recommend that because your gut health literally depends on your overall health. Yeah. If your gut is happy, you are happy. Yeah,
you don't want to be overweight or dealing with any diabetes or asthma and stuff like that because apparently those are more high risk factors when it comes to getting COVID.
What else do you remember that helped us get through COVID? Fruit. Eating healthy, chicken soup, probiotics, tea. I mean, if you're already going through it, I understand. It's going to be hard.
No, I mean, yeah, trust your gut.
Trust your gut.
I mean, there's a thing you're going to learn when you're trying to eat is... you're not really sure. And if you're not really sure, don't take the chance. Take something much lighter. Take a little piece of bread, a little crumb, something that's not too heavy, because trust me, you might be thinking your stomach is telling you something else because of the symptoms, but it's not. It's telling you that if you try this, it's gonna not work out.
That's just basing on his
That's
experience.
just my instincts when I experienced it.
Because I didn't have exactly 100% like the same symptoms you had.
Yeah.
But I feel like the overall telltale of COVID is the fever and obviously feeling like you're under the weather.
Yeah, aching. Like if you're
body
feeling
aches.
an aching sensation out of nowhere, you didn't go work out or you didn't do anything too extreme that would put you in that exhaustion, or you haven't lost sleep, and you're waking up with 8 hours of sleep and you're all hunky-dory, believe me when I tell you, it's coming for you.
Yeah. Remember to stay hydrated. If you can't eat anything, make sure to eat something.
Oh, yeah, and we recommend don't
Tylenol.
ask a friend or a family member to drop a box full of items for you, whether it's medicine or the tests or, drinks or food, because clearly, or you can go on, there's Instacart stuff for that too if you can afford it. Obviously, not everybody can afford it, but whatever you can do to kind of make it easy for you not to go out there as much as you have to. And then on top of that, if you need to move your car or anything like that, because we all have situations, circumstances, maybe you have to throw your trash away, I don't know. But that being said, be sure to pretty much be aware of your surroundings. Maybe you want to wait later in the morning or early in the morning, or you want to wait later in the evening to decide to throw anything away or put anything away, because obviously you want to avoid less crowds. It's really up to you. Those are pretty much all the safety measures I can think of at this moment.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah, that was our experience with COVID. It was crazy.
Well,
we went through it.
It was quite a journey, guys. And honestly, we don't recommend it. But
No.
We'll leave it on that note. And if you guys have anything you guys want to share, if you guys liked our comments or our opinions, feel free to leave it down in the comment sections down below. And as always, No Press fam, we appreciate you guys. Catch you guys later.